Hey, welcome back. I got a favor to ask of you. Please check to make sure you subscribed. It really helps everything that we're trying to do here, helps keep the conversation going. I know that I forget a lot to go subscribe to all the podcasts that I watch and follow. I hope it resonates with you. Share it with the people who you feel would love to hear the messages that we're spreading here. But I appreciate all your time. I know it's valuable. Thank you so much for being here. This is This Tree and Me. I am Cory J Riggs. And today's episode, it's not about avoiding pain, but why we stay in it. Do you believe you have to suffer to heal? Not feel it, suffer in it. Because they're not the same thing. I know that I had for a long time felt that suffering and living in that pain and that constant memory of either what happened to me or what I did to others. And we're going to talk a little bit about both of those tonight. But something inside us feels and makes us believe that we can't leave it behind. That we have to stay in it in order to heal. And even as I started this journey years ago, I didn't differentiate feeling it, seeing it, and living in it. There's a major distinction between those two things. And where did we learn that? Where did we learn that we have to suffer? Where did we learn that suffering equals healing? Who taught you? Who taught you that you have to stay in that pain? You don't have to suffer to heal. Pain is a part of the process, 100%. But suffering becomes identity. And I know I did. But you think that you had to carry it to prove change. Think about that a second. Think about the stories in your life that you've told yourself or you've told others, or maybe you've met someone new or you go to therapy or whatever it is. And you're talking about situations in your life and how you've grown. Do you ever catch yourself and reflect back on it? As I'm speaking about this, I want you to reflect back on something where you were telling somebody about how you've grown from something, how you've healed from something. Divorce, loss of a family member, loss of a loved one. Pick something. And you talk about how it's still there with you. You give the example of, yes, I've healed from it. I'm okay with it. I've accepted it. And you, as you tell the story, you still feel little bits. Or as you're telling the story, it becomes your identity. Oh, I've learned how to set boundaries because of this, and this. Where does that story come from? Are you still living in that? Is that becoming your identity? Or is it something that you felt you've lived already and you realize you don't have to live in that anymore? So I also want to challenge you and ask you, do you feel like if you let it go, you're avoiding responsibility? And I know this one's a big one for me. Do you feel like you have to hold on to it to prove something? You do not have to punish yourself to grow. Suffering becomes proof and guilt becomes performance. And that's what I was talking about when you're telling the story. Are you performing it? Are you living in it? Is it becoming your identity? Accountability, is owning it, but not living inside it. And it's almost like we feel guilty if that we let it go. That we are shoving it to the side, put it like it didn't matter, it didn't happen. Let's just, hey, forget about it. First off, you can never forget about things that have happened to you or things that you've done to others. They've happened. You've lived them. But especially in the context of we have an innate instinct in us that we can't let it go. And I'm going to use it when somebody wrongs you more so than when we wrong somebody else. Because we take that on. How many of you have done it yourself or had friends or people that you've met that tell you about something from their childhood and it's just the way I am? Religion, let's use that. Hey, I had some religious trauma when I was young. I was brought up in a very strict whatever household. And that's why I don't believe in God, or that's why I don't go to church any longer, or whatever. That's identity. God didn't do that to you. The church did not do that to you. Your family may have, your church members may have, but allowing that to take on as an identity, that's living in it, and that's not healing. That's not letting it go. That's still just living in that pain and letting that ego just keep you there. You can own it. You have accountability for it. You pray, you meditate, you heal, whatever your process is or becomes. But just because you heal from it and move on and don't live in it does not mean you're avoiding the responsibility of it. And that goes for the things that happen to you as well. Yes, it happened. But that's not have to be who you are now. That does not have to be the identity that you live in for the rest of your life. It's okay to move on from pain. It's okay to move on from suffering. You're not going to forget it. And you're not going to lose the accountability and the responsibility that you took in this stuff. It's just you reach a point to where it happened. I've dealt with it. I don't need to live it anymore. So ask yourself really quick, who are you without your past? Who are you if you are not that version anymore? Because you are not the old you. We all talk about how we grow and change and get older, but why do these stories still carry on within us? Why does that identity continue to drag along with us? Why do we bring those along as who we are? It's not you anymore. The past becomes identity, and identity keeps you stuck. I'm not a morning person. I'm a procrastinator, right? I'm picking easy, light ones for the most part. You can pick yours. Don't identify yourself. Don't label yourself. Don't say, this is who I am. This is how I am. This is just the way I am. I am this because of this. This happened to me, so this is what became of me. Once you label yourself, you are stuck. You can get rid of that label, and that's what we're working on, and that's what we're talking about. It takes work, though. But that identity, that labeling, that keeps you stuck, that does not allow for growth, release, living. At what point does feeling it become living it? At what point does feeling it become living in it? You felt it, you saw it, but you stayed. Are you not done living in that chamber of suffering? As long as we hold on to it as an identity, and as long as we bring it up again and again and again when we're telling the story of who we are, why we are the way we are, why we do the things that the way we do, why we don't do certain things, the more we stay in those stores, y'all, the more we stay in that chamber of suffering. And it will eat you alive. It will keep you there as long as you allow it. So I want to say it one more time, because I want this one to sink in. At what point does feeling it become living in it? So do you feel like you have to stay in pain for others? This is another one for me. This is more for me in the aspect of things that I've done to others. And I really live this one with being a parent and the mistakes that I made as being a parent. Also a loved one, relationships, but this one hits with me and my children. I felt that going to therapy and talking about it and living in it and talking about it constantly and feeling it so deep, like, yes, I did these things. It is what it is. It's who I am. I did them. I have to live with them. Yes, I did them. No, I no longer have to live in them. Does moving forward feel like leaving them behind? Guilt. Do you feel, hey, if I move forward, if I heal, one, do I deserve to? And then you look back and you still see people suffering in your wake. Okay, I need to stay with them. I need to be in that pain agreement. And you don't. People in your life need to see you live. They don't know it yet, but they do need to see it. And there's a lot of reasons why. Now they'll fight it. Y'all, they will fight it. They will challenge you. they will try to suck you back in to the pain agreement. Hey, I'm still in pain. You must still be in pain. A few things are happening there. One, well, they don't deserve to heal because I'm not. They can't feel better because I don't. But even more scary than that, even a little deeper than that, it's possible. If they see you growing, if they see you healing, if they see you moving forward with your life, then they know it's possible. And that makes them think, okay, now I've got to look at myself. And that's not easy. And I'm talking to you from both sides of this. From a person who's had trauma done unto them and a person who gave. And both sides have these stories. And neither side, their pain is not yours. Their suffering is not yours. Whether they caused it or you caused it. Did it happen? Yes. Do we take responsibility? Yes. Do we take accountability? Yes. Do we have to live in it for the rest of our lives and suffer? No, and neither do they. And you can show them how. You can show them there's a path. But that shared pain experience, it creates connection. But your growth can break that. So what if healing isn't staying in it, but moving through it? Choosing differently. You have to be courageous in the pursuit of you. And I'll reemphasize several times during this. Doing this does not lack responsibility. It does not lack accountability. You're not saying that I don't care that I did those things. I'm moving on. That can be what it feels like. What you're saying is, I did those things. I have empathy for myself and the people that are affected by this. I want to help them heal and I want to heal. But that doesn't mean I have to live in their pain or my pain. I can get through this. I can move through this. I can become a different and better person. And I don't have to suffer to become that person. There's going to be a time and a point when you're going through these reflections, whether you're journaling about them, whether you're doing plant medicine about them, whatever it is, whether you're praying and meditating, therapy, whatever your process is, it's going to hurt and it's going to suck and it's going to be painful. And there are going to be moments of suffering in there. But use it as a tool to heal, to understand it. To understand, yes, I feel that. It hurts. Why does it hurt? What can I do differently? How can I learn from that? What can I take away from that? And yes, it's much easier to do that on the things that you've done to others. It's a very difficult process to go through when it's been done to you. It's not for them. It's for you. They can live in that pain if they want to. But you know what else that shows people? And don't let this become a story, a mirage, almost an identity of, hey, I'll show them. it doesn't hurt me anymore. It's okay if it still hurts. It's okay if you have a memory every now and then and it's like, whew, that's not living in it. That's just being a human. But that fake facade of, yeah, I'll show them it doesn't hurt. You don't have to say that to believe it. Live it. That's the separator there. You don't have to tell everybody, yeah, they left me and I'm going to show them it doesn't hurt me. I can just move on. Can you? If you're still talking about it, if you're still telling that story with that little bite to it, throw them some compassion. Throw them some love. Hey, I wish them all the best in the world. Inside, that still may hurt a little bit, but you're healing. You're working on it. You're not living in that pain. You're allowing it to feel what you need to feel through it. And you're moving on. You don't need to stay in it. You did what you did. You lived what you have lived. What was done to you is over. And you've lived it all. You do not have to stay living in that pain. That is not your identity. That is not your burden. That is not your sentence. You can get through it. You can heal. You can move forward. And you can live without that pain and suffering. And it's okay. But why are you still living there? Ask yourself that. You do not have to stay living in that pain. So why do you choose to? It's a choice. And again, I'm speaking from both sides. Yes, it's hard when it's done to you, when you are on the receiving end of it. Unless you're still going through it. And if you are, find help. Seek whatever type of help you need, whatever the situation is to get out of it. And then once it's behind you, work to heal. Work to leave it in the past as a memory that you don't live in. It's not your identity. Heal it to be able to walk forward with the knowledge and the understanding and the empathy and the growth that it's taught you. So 1, I don't repeat. 2, maybe I can see things ahead of time so I don't get in this situation again. Some situations are just unavoidable and that stinks. And again, I'm speaking from this. But you can get through it. And you don't have to live in it. And it doesn't have to become who you are. So I want to ask you a few questions before we go. And I want you to reflect on these. And I would love to hear some feedback. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd love to have an open discussion. What are you still holding on to as proof? Proof. Think of that. Yes, I did these things. There's the proof of it. I'm still suffering. I'm healing. That's the proof. I'm not healing. I'm suffering. I'm in pain. I'm showing that I did these things and I'm going to pay for it. hey, I'm living this way because this is what happened to me, and I didn't deserve it. It's very true in a lot of instances. What are you still holding on to that is proof of why you are the way you are? What is that story? What guilt have you turned into identity? Think about this one heavily. And all of this takes being honest with yourself and being truthful with yourself and don't hold him back. What guilt have you turned into identity? There's a lot of ways that you can turn guilt into identity. Staying in relationships too long because maybe you didn't get the love that you needed when you were young, or enabling others to do things that maybe you don't agree with because that's the way you were brought up and that's the environment you were in, or that's a past relationship. There's so many. And here's the big one. What are you afraid happens if you let it all go? That's the hard one. That's the hardest one for me. Because for the longest time, I believed that I needed to suffer. Excuse me. I believed that, and I'll continue, using my family, that they needed to see I was hurt by it because then they would see, okay, if he's hurting, I'm hurting. Okay, he's getting better. If I'm suffering and I hurt, then I'm acknowledging and growing in that pain. What are you afraid happens if you let it all go? Thank you so much for being here. This work is not easy. It takes a lot of commitment to yourself, a lot of grace, self-compassion, self-understanding, love. It is not easy to look inside and look at the parts that are broken and figure out how to put them back together and move forward in a healthy, healing, loving way. And then when that next challenge comes, not allowing it to bring you back into those old stories and those old memories. It's not easy work, y'all. And I appreciate everyone who's doing this work. And for those thinking about it, your time will come. Keep listening. If you're here, you're already on the journey. No matter where you're at in that journey, you're already on the journey of healing. If you're watching and participating in shows of this nature, books that cover things like this, you're already on the path. Don't doubt yourself. And it may take years. You may dip a toe and come back and dip a toe and go back. That's okay. As long as you dip that toe, you know what it feels like. You know what you want. You've seen it. So I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate you doing the work. I appreciate the conversations. I hope this resonates with you. Please, again, if you haven't already, please subscribe and follow. I have social media on accounts on all the platforms. I love sharing the work. I love sharing the message. And I love hearing feedback, and I love hearing your stories. And I love working with the people that I work with. It's just rewarding. And one of the most rewarding parts of it for me is when you see somebody have that aha. And there's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be a whole lot of those on the way. There's going to be some stub toes as well. But there's going to be some moments where you hit something that you didn't think you could get to, and you're like, oh, and just, it's like all the breath just came out of you so peacefully. So again, thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. I know that you believe in yourself. You may challenge that sometimes, but I believe in you. I believe in every single one of you. So if you don't believe in yourself for that one moment, that one day, just remember somebody does. This has been This Tree in Me. I'm Cory J Riggs. I love you all. Be blessed.